Good morning, distinguished guests, respected dignitaries, eminent speakers, industry leaders, delegates, members of the media, and dear colleagues. On behalf of South Asian Institute for Advanced Research and Development, it is my honor to welcome you all to the SAIARD National Symposium on FinTech 2026 here at Hotel Hindustan International, Kolkata. Today's symposium brings together policymakers, regulators, bankers, technologists, academicians, and innovators to deliberate on shaping a resilient, inclusive, and future-ready financial ecosystem for India. I am Antara Kundu, Program Director at SAIARD, and I'll be your host for the day. FinTech today is no longer just about technology. It is about governance, inclusion, trust, security, and national development. This symposium is designed as a platform for dialogue, convergence, and actionable outcomes that align with India's vision of a digitally empowered and economically inclusive Bharat. At this outset, I would also like to gratefully acknowledge our esteemed knowledge partners, whose support has been instrumental in shaping this national dialogue. We sincerely thank our government partner, Department of Information Technology and Electronics, Government of West Bengal, our strategic partner, National Payments Corporation of India, our banking partner, UCO Bank, State Bank of India, Assam Grameen Bank, Yes Bank, Airtel Payments Bank, iServU, Orient Pro, Digilizer Consulting Private Limited, Isaac Technologies Private Limited, Coinnovative Ventures, WLS, Calcutta Management Association, Friends 91.9 FM, and NewsClick for their valued partnership and continued commitment to strengthening India's FinTech ecosystem. To give you an overview of the vision, objectives, and thematic focus of this symposium, may I request the technical team to kindly play the executive summary video of NSF 2026.
FinTech is no longer an innovation at the margins. It is the backbone of digital India, enabling secure payments, digital identity, credit access, and real-time governance at scale. Aligned with the Government of India's vision of Viksit Bharat at 2047, FinTech is accelerating inclusive growth, connecting citizens, institutions, and markets like never before. Yet, challenges remain: digital literacy, last-mile connectivity, cybersecurity, regulatory alignment, and institutional capacity. These challenges demand collective thinking, informed policy, and collaborative action. This is where dialogue becomes essential. A national platform where policymakers, regulators, industry leaders, academia, and innovators come together to shape the future of India's digital financial ecosystem. The South Asian Institute for Advanced Research and Development, SAIARD, is a policy advocacy and research think tank committed to evidence-based dialogue, interdisciplinary research, and nation building. FinTech sits at the intersection of technology, governance, public policy, and development, making it deeply relevant to SAIARD's mission of sustainable and inclusive growth. This National Symposium on FinTech 2026 marks a significant milestone, the first comprehensive national-level FinTech platform of its kind in Eastern and Northeastern India. For governments, it informs better policy. For regulators, it strengthens frameworks. For academia, it opens new research frontiers. For industry and corporates, it unlocks innovation and partnerships. The symposium focuses on digital payments, AI in financial services, FinTech innovation, and last-mile inclusion, turning ideas into actionable outcomes. Hosted by SAIARD, the National Symposium on FinTech 2026 brings together the nation's thought leaders to chart India's digital financial future. Because the future of finance is not just digital. It is inclusive, secure, and collaborative. Join us as we shape the future of FinTech for a Viksit Bharat.
Thank you so much to the technical team. To formally welcome our distinguished gathering, I now invite Dr. Bishwajit Roy Choudhury, Chairman SAIARD Group, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to all of you. First of all, still now we are in the January, so I can say the Happy New Year to all of you on behalf of whole our SAIARD team. I am really privileged and honored to have you with us. In fact, on behalf of South Asian Institute for Advanced Research and Development, we have started our journey exactly on the same day, if you consider the registration. So the 31st January was the registration date, and we have started our activities since 20th February. So now, almost at the verge of the 7th year of our anniversary, the National FinTech Symposium is going to be held in Kolkata, and I am proud to say that this is the first National FinTech Symposium we are going to organize in this scale, and in future it will be in a bigger sense. I am really thankful to, first of all, our honorable state government of West Bengal, especially the Department of IT and Information Technology and Electronics, Department of North Bengal Development, our Department of the Transport as well, and also our Honorable Minister, Mr. Babul Supriyo, the IT Minister, will go to join in us. Maybe due to some official emergency, he could not be able to join in the inaugural session, but he will join in the valedictory session. I'm really thankful on behalf of SAIARD to all the knowledge partners, especially the Airtel Payments Bank, the Orin Pro, all the iSurvey, all the knowledge partners, our strategic partners, National Payments Corporation of India, NPCI. With those, we have started that discussion, the discussion of the FinTech Symposium. We are very much honored to our banking partners of, obviously, UCO Bank and our knowledge partner, State Bank, and all the panelists and all the delegates for joining us within a short span of time, because all the initiatives we have organized within just 22 days of initiative. So within 22 days, hopefully you understand it's a little bit difficult to connect, but I'm really thankful to some people. I'm especially Mr. Longkumar Mautoshi. He is the Honorable MLA and the Minister of our Nagaland government. Also, our Honorable Additional Chief Secretary, Mr. Dushyant Nariyala sir, our Honorable Secretary of Shubhanjan Das sir, IT Secretary, and Special Secretary of Transport Department, Siraj Danesharji, who will join us in the later. And obviously, the Executive Director of Mr. P. Vasudevan of Reserve Bank of India. May he not be able to join today due to some, again, some official excellencies. So, but he shared his best wishes. And also, especially to the Nagaland government too, and the government of Nepal, because Honorable Secretary of Government of Nepal will also join. And today I got a best wishes from the Secretary PMO of Government of Nepal too. So, with this, maybe this is a first national symposium. But before that, I would like to introduce a little bit SAIARD. SAIARD initially has started as a policy advocacy think tank organizations. Since last 8 years, we are connected with the several central and state government bodies. We are connected with the Ministry of Jal Shakti, Ministry of Information Technology, DST, Survey of India, and all that. And with this collaborative partnership, we are not only compounding our initiation or collaboration with this country, but also in the other countries too. And mostly we are associated with the Southeast Asian nation, especially Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Taiwan, and all that. And now we can proudly say that our fellow members are now spreading throughout the almost over 18 countries, including we have recently started one small unit with 2 of our fellow members in USA as well. So with this association, SAIARD has started its journey. We have started our collaboration. We have conducted several capacity building programs, published several research works, policy documents, which we have handed over to our honorable governments, NPCI, Niti Aayog, and all the ministries, particularly to support our state governments, to support our central governments in mission of their capacity building, in not only their capacity building, but also to strengthen the hands of the government. From the very beginning, SAIARD is working in a focused area, that is in the 4 sectors, that is the sustainability, livelihood, and the inclusivity, as well as the collaboration. And with these initiatives, since the last 8 years, we have conducted almost more than 200 capacity building programs, more than 400 students throughout the India from IIT, NIC, different organizations, they have come to join us as the research interns. We have published several research policy documents. We have been submitted to the documents, and more than 2,000 dialogues we have been organized either physically or virtual mode. So this is the journey, a small scale of journey. But today I am proudly to say that now SAIARD is not just become a think tank, it's actually working as a group of organizations. And you can consider now SAIARD as a group of organizations, where SAIARD is working as a policy think tank organizations, where our Radhanath Sikdar Institute of Geospatial Science and Technology is working as a GIS Center of Excellence. And you heard the name, I hope, Mr. Radhanath Sikdar, who was the first man, you can say the Everest man, who calculated the height of Mount Everest. And we are proud to say that Radhanath Sikdar Institute, this is the first institute named after him. We have already started his the memorial award, memorial lecture by his name. And we are also proud that our state government, Webel Technology Limited, has signed a collaboration with us. Not only that, the Survey of India, the pioneer mapping organizations of Government of India, NATMO, they have signed MOU with the RSI GST, and we are now through RSI GST connecting all the GIS remote sensing entities with us. Our International Institute of River Affairs, which was previously known as the Center for River Affairs, it's now working as a member since the beginning with the Ministry of Jal Shakti, and this you can consider as the first river center of excellence which we are working. And in last November, 6th November, we have organized our 4th International River Congress in Delhi, which we have started from Kolkata, and there we have announced that Center for River Affairs should be an international institute of river affairs, and we are proudly say that almost 19 countries are being associated with us, because we have designed like World Economic Forum, that is the World Rivers Forum, and connecting the different nations. And we are thinking that river is everything, from ecology to economy, everything is river, not just a flow of water. And we are also proud to announce our Pentel Global Tech, because that is our IT verticals, you can say. We have been started not only just to do some IT scrap job, but also to create some products, to develop some product, which is the ultimate focus of our Government of India's mission and vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. We have already launched, we are going to launch 2 products on behalf of this Pentel, and 4 more products will go to come. And also I am very much happy to announce from this platform, we are also working on the AI and innovation platform, and hopefully very soon we are going to launch our registered trademark AI, generative AI product, that is the Geom, through Pentel. Next, we are also looking forward to share with you, because you know the drone is one of the indispensable part in this right now for any kind of survey, mapping, and drone is the future, you can say. So on behalf of SAIARD group, we have designed one platform and developed one platform, that is the School of Drone Technology. And that School of Drone Technology not only focus on the capacity building, but also the drone services, training. Even we are also started a small scale manufacturing. Even I am also be happy to share that information that our Government of West Bengal, one department, Government of West Bengal, has also communicated with us, not one but 2 departments of Government of West Bengal communicated with us to how to scale it up in the eastern, northeastern level. And I am thankful to Mr. Mautoshi sir, Longkumar Mautoshi sir, the Honorable Nagaland government official. He also mentioned to work these drone sectors in Nagaland too in future. Thank you, sir. Also, this is, you can say, a SAIARD. And now, through this FinTech National Symposium, we are also going to initiate our another vertical under the SAIARD wing, that is the financial consulting and FinTech infrastructure development, especially in eastern, northeastern India. Obviously, the headquarters of SAIARD will be in Kolkata, and we will connect throughout India. And I am very much happy to say that whenever I was first discussed with Honorable Shubhanjan Das sir, our IT secretary, he was also getting interest, and in future, I am thankful to the UCO Bank, Yes Bank, and those State Bank. They are also looking forward to develop one consortium so that we can together and make some big initiative to develop that FinTech infrastructure in India. based on the eastern and northeastern India, and whatever the gaps have and whatever the opportunities we could create, that we could create, and SAIARD will become one kind of nodal organizations to connect all the bodies to support this initiative. So with this, I no longer extend my point, but I just wanted to mention, give a special thanks to all of you for joining us, because this FinTech, we are not thinking just a dialogue. We are always thinking such kind of policy dialogue as a confluence, because the gathering, the mind, the exchange of knowledge, everything will help us to enhance our knowledge, our expertise, our thinking, our capacity building every way. And with this, I am again thankful to all of you, especially my team, our knowledge partners, our delegates, those who have joined from the RBI, Reserve Bank, or even SBI, UCO Bank, all the delegates, our government of West Bengal, government of Nagaland, government of Nepal, and obviously all the stakeholders, those who have participated, and obviously my team for their entire support to make this initiative in a ground level. So with this, again, I am going to give my special thanks to all of you. Thank you. Jai Hind. Bande Mataram.
I'd request Dr. Roy Chaudhary to please stay up on stage. We will start our felicitations. So, we will now proceed with the formal felicitation of our distinguished guests as a mark of respect and appreciation for their leadership and gracious presence. At first, we have our guest of honor, Mr. Shubhanjan Das, IAS, Secretary, Department of Information Technology and Electronics, Government of West Bengal. I'd like to request him to please come up on stage. And I'd like to request Dr. Roy Chaudhary, to founder Chairman SAIARD Group, to felicitate Mr. Shubhanjan Das. May I request our team to place the token of appreciation, please? Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause. Thank you so much, sir. I now invite Mr. Rajendra Sharma, Secretary, Revenue, Department of Finance, Government of Sikkim, to kindly step forward and join us for the stage. And may I request Dr. Roy Chaudhary to felicitate our dignitary. The token of appreciation may kindly be presented. A warm round of applause, please, everyone. Thank you so much, sir. We are now inviting our special guest, Mr. Mautoshi Longkumer, Honorable MLA and Advisor, Government of Nagaland, to kindly join us. May I request Dr. Roy Chaudhary to felicitate him. I'd like to request our team to place the token of appreciation. Our guest, Mr. Avinash Shukla, General Manager, TIT Projects and Head, Digital Banking, UCO Bank. Kindly come up on stage, sir. And may I request Dr. Roy Chaudhary to felicitate him. It gives us immense pleasure and deep sense of appreciation to invite our chief guest, Mr. Dushyant Nariyala, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of North Bengal Development, Government of West Bengal, to kindly join us on stage. And I'd like to request Dr. Roy Chaudhary to felicitate the dignitary. A warm round of applause, please. Thank you so much, everyone. We would now move to our ceremonial lighting of the lamp, symbolizing knowledge, wisdom, and collective progress. May I request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly join for the lamp lighting and felicitation, lamp lighting. And I'd like to request our team to bring the tray of candles. much, everyone. I'd like to request okay, just let's all join us for a photo. Thank you, everyone. Kindly take your seats. Now, let's move to our inaugural address. Firstly, I'd cordially invite Mr. Shubhanjan Das, IAS, Secretary, Department of Information Technology and Electronics, Government of West Bengal, to present his address. Over to you, sir.
A very good morning to all of you. We have with us here Additional Chief Secretary, North Bengal Development Department, Shri Dushan Nariyala sir. We have with us Honorable MLA and Advisor, Labour and Employment, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and Excise, Government of Nagaland, Mr. Mautoshi Longkumarji. We have Secretary, Revenue, Department of Finance, Government of Sikkim, Mr. Rajendra Sharmaji, GM, DIT Projects and Head, Digital Banking, UCO Bank, Avinash Shuklaji, and Founder Chairman, SAIARD, Dr. Bishwajit Rai Chaudhary. And of course, there are a lot of dignitaries of the dais, comprising of bankers, strategists, entrepreneurs, financial experts, and a very vibrant think tank here. First of all, I would like to thank SAIARD for inviting me to this very important symposium, the first of its kind here, being organized. And the timing is most opportune, I believe, because it's happening at a time when technology is, not just cutting across finance, but across all segments of society and the very way in which we interact with each other. Now, if we are talking about FinTech, I believe that to keep it in proper perspective, to appreciate it in proper perspective, we must first look at how it has evolved maybe over the past couple of decades. Now, if you remember, it was in the 1980s and the early 90s when we used to go to banks for just withdrawing some petty cash or transferring money to someone. Now, we'd had to stand in long queues and be at the mercy of some banking officer or staff. It used to be a very memorable experience of sorts. But gradually, banking started to change. When its records started getting digitized, they entered into their own core banking systems. And when technology itself made a rapid leap in the 1990s and the early 2000s in the form of internet, I think banking itself changed altogether. It became more and more faceless as of sort. So we started having internet banking. We need not go to the bank to withdraw cash. We started having ATMs everywhere. There was a massive expansion of debit and credit cards. We started having online digital payments. All was going hunky-dory. But then, I think 2008, that year was a watershed in the history of finance all over the world, including our country as a whole. So we faced the 2008 financial crisis, and that is when people's confidence in traditional banking took a hit for the first time. That opened the door, first time, for non-banking FinTech to occupy space. And that was the actual beginning of FinTech in India. And we never looked back since then. So the entire decade from 2010, where even technology and mobiles became so popular, we started seeing mobile banking apps, we started seeing digital wallets, we started seeing peer-to-peer lending, we started seeing blockchains, cryptocurrencies, and of late we are seeing AI and embedded finance. Now we must also appreciate that in the Indian context, there were a couple of enablers which actually made this FinTech into one of the most happening sectors in the country today. Now these three enablers, I would say, would be first, the Jan Dhan. Now Jan Dhan, which started with a very simple objective that every household in the country must have access to a simple bank account, no frills account, a zero balance or a minimum balance account, a free RuPay debit card which goes along with it, free accidental insurance coverage, and all direct benefit transfers will happen there. Now that was really a great revolution of sorts, and of late, I think India has already opened around 57 crore Jan Dhan accounts. And I'm happy to say that West Bengal itself constitutes almost 10% of the total Jan Dhan accounts opened in the country. West Bengal has opened around 5.5 crore Jan Dhan accounts. And the best part of the thing in Bengal is that almost 85% of the Jan Dhan accounts that were opened in Bengal were largely in rural and semi-urban areas, which needed it most. So that was the first enabler for the FinTech revolution. The second was Aadhaar. Now Aadhaar enabled a safe and secure mode of identification for a financial transaction. And of course, related with Aadhaar, now we have seen the other mechanisms such as the other mode of authentications that the government is nowadays promoting. Third is, and which actually transformed the FinTech landscape of the country, was UPI. Now UPI, which began in a very modest manner, maybe I think it was in 2015 or 16, now today has entirely transformed the ecosystem. India today clocks 700 million, I repeat, 700 million digital transactions per day. In fact, our country is responsible for 50% of world's digital transactions that happen. We have far outnumbered even China in this regard. So, FinTech is here to stay. It is here to expand, no doubt. But as we expand and as we see it exploding, I think there are certain areas of caution also that we must be, be aware of. And I'm sure that these concerns will be a part of the dialogue today in the later roundtable conferences that are going to happen. First, I believe there must be a balance between innovation and regulation. Now, innovation has no limits, but innovation must be accompanied by certain safeguards. And that is where the role of regulators come in, like RBI, SEBI, and other institutions such as NABARD, the National Payment Corporation of India. Now, the role of regulators is obviously not to stifle the innovation, but to ensure that the interests of the consumer, the retail investor, the common man is protected. The second thing which I feel is there must also be a balance between scale and security. Now, as the FinTech expands, there will also be increased number of digital frauds happening everywhere. So we must ensure that our systems are also robust enough, are cyber resilient, have strong cyber security systems, and also have due regards to data protection and data privacy. Thirdly, we must also be careful, because there has to be a balance also between, efficiency, I would say, on one hand, and inclusion on the other. Now, technology is fast changing. What was trending 2 years back is obsolete today, and it's going to happen the same tomorrow. So, we have to ensure that people who are on the wrong side of the digital divide do not get left out of the benefits of this FinTech. I also personally am of the opinion that financial literacy must be a part of the educational curriculum of all universities, particularly in the graduate and postgraduate last year level. Why I am saying this is that the Gen Z, a future of our country, they must be financially literate. They must understand the value of money in the first place. Unlike our generation, who actually felt the pinch of money when we actually spent it. There was an element of friction when we felt money leaving our hands. But for Gen Z, getting easy access to loans, getting, misutilizing credits has become very easy, and falling into loan traps, because everything is happening at the click, with just simple clicks. So there is no friction involved in this. So an element of financial literacy must be there in our educational curriculum. I would also like to briefly say about the West Bengal context of FinTech. Now, you must be all aware that Bengal FinTech Hub at Rajarhat and Newtown, where land has been given by HITCO, is the primary nerve center of FinTech, not only in Kolkata, but in the coming days, it's going to be the nerve center of Eastern India, spread over around, I think, around 7 acres of land. Already 30 banking, financial, insurance institutions have already taken land there. Few of them are operational, others are under construction. But how does this FinTech hub operate in isolation? They can't. And that is where IT comes in. And that is where I would like to say that just a stone's throw away from Bengal FinTech hub is Bengal Silicon Valley. Now, Bengal Silicon Valley is approximately 250 acres of land, and this is going to bring an investment of 35,000 crores and will generate an employment of 75,000 IT professionals. 41 companies have already been allocated land there. They are not just small and medium-sized companies. We have Reliance, TCS further expanding, LTI Mindtree, Airtel Nextra, NTT, all of them. In fact, the other day, me along with my minister had visited LTI Mindtree campus there, which is was coming up in Bengal Silicon Valley. In fact, they are completing their first 2 phases by April. And by October, it will be fully functional. Now, when we talk about FinTech, we must all understand that data centers is very important. Because RBI and every regulator talks about data sovereignty. That data should not be stored in some place outside the country or somewhere else. That is why data centers are important. And let me tell you, 11 data centers are coming up in Bengal Silicon Valley itself. That is what the FinTech and the entrepreneurs here must leverage. In fact, West Bengal has 14 private data centers, including Reliance is also coming up with a data center in Bengal Silicon Valley. And to top it all, let me inform you that the first cable landing station in Eastern India is coming up at Digha. It will be completed in next 18 months, and that is being done by Reliance. So now that will reduce latency, lower bandwidth cost, and it's going to be a game changer in the next 1 or 2 years. I would also like to say that FinTech is not just about Kolkata alone. We must also look at other parts of Bengal. And that is where, and that is why Webel has taken the lead in ensuring that 32 government IT parks have come up. And that's not only in Kolkata. It's come up in Durgapur, Asansol, Siliguri, Haldia, Kharagpur. And that is where the new markets lie. Even for FinTech, I will say, your future scope lies there, not just in Kolkata. Why? Because whereas I was mentioning that so many Jan Dhan accounts, around 5.5 crore accounts had opened in Bengal, but the use of digital payments in rural and semi-urban Bengal is still lower compared to what happens in southern and western India. So that is the new market for the FinTechs here to tap in future. I once again thank SAIARD for giving me an opportunity here to express my views, and I wish all the best for the success of this symposium here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your thoughtful address. I now invite Mr. Rajendra Sharma, Secretary Revenue, Department of Finance, Government of Sikkim, to kindly step forward and present his address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ma'am Antara Kundu. Respected Additional Chief Secretary, sir, Sri Dushan Narayala, sir, Honorable MLA Nagaland, Mr. Maotoshi Longkumar, sir, Secretary to Government of West Bengal, Sri Suvanjan Das, sir, Dr. Biswajit Roy Chaudhary, Chairman SAIARD, Mr. Avinash Shukla, distinguished dignitaries of the dais, senior policymakers, regulators, esteemed panelists and delegates. I am pleased to convey the appreciation of Government of Sikkim to the organizers for convening this National Symposium on FinTech aligned with the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. By bringing together policymakers, regulators, financial institutions, industry, academia, and startup, this forum provides a valuable opportunity for dialogue and shared reflection on the institutional and governance choices that will shape India's financial future. Our deliberations today go beyond technology or adoption. They invite us to reflect on a more enduring question: how public systems are designed to scale responsibility, remain resilient in times of stress, and sustain public support. These principles lie at the heart of Viksit Bharat, which seeks sustained and inclusive growth anchored in strong institutions and effective governance. The Economy Survey 25-26 tabled earlier this week captures this challenge aptly when it observes that India must run a marathon and sprint simultaneously, or run a marathon as if it were a sprint. For policymakers and regulators, this underscores the need to pursue long-term national objectives while remaining responsive to a dynamic and uncertain global environment. In such circumstances, an important lesson stands out. Resilience is most effective when it is built into the systems from the outset. While sound policy formulation remains vital, experience shows that careful process design and effective execution often determines outcomes, shaping predictability, scalability, and public confidence. It is in this context that India's digital payment infrastructure has assumed particular significance. No longer merely a tool of efficiency, it has become an integral part of the country's economic framework. By enabling secure, real-time, and interoperable transactions across citizens, businesses, and governments, it supports economic continuity, advances formalization, enhances transparency, and reduces transaction frictions at scale. India's policy-led, platform-based approach demonstrates how interoperable and low-cost systems deployed at population scale, can promote inclusion, competition, and innovation across banks and fintech firms. At the same time, such scale brings us responsibility to manage risk with care and foresight. As volumes and interdependencies grow, policy attention must gradually shift from expansion to long-term sustainability. Resilience, cybersecurity, governance, data protection, and consumer redress now carry broader economic relevance. At this level of adoption, even isolated disruptions or erosion of trust can have wider implications. Taken together, the priorities ahead are clear. Digital payments must be treated as systematically important national infrastructure with resilience and accountability embedded by design. Trust must remain a central regulatory objective, supported by strong cybersecurity, operational resilience, sound data governance, and timely grievance redressal. Regulation must continue to be enabling and forward-looking, offering clarity that supports innovation while managing risk. Financial inclusion must increasingly be judged by outcomes with attention to quality of usage, consumer protection, and ease of redress, particularly for the first-time and vulnerable users. And above all, the realization of Viksit Bharat 2047 will depend on a whole of government and whole of ecosystem approach characterized by coordination, interoperable public digital platforms, and consistent policy signals that translate innovation into broad-based and sustainable economic value. In conclusion, the choices before us call for balance, foresight, and collaboration. The manner in which we strengthen governance, resilience, and trust today will shape the durability of India's fintech ecosystem in the years ahead. The task is demanding, but with shared commitment and cooperation, the vision of our developed India by 2047 remains well within our reach. Thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you so much, sir. I now invite our special guest, Mr. Mautoshi Longkumer, Honorable MLA and Advisor, Government of Nagaland, to kindly present his address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Antara Gundu. My friend, Dr. Biswajit Roy Chaudhary, Founder, Chairman of SAIARD, distinguished guests of honors and speakers on the dais, senior representative of regulatory institutions, leaders from banking, FinTech, and industry, esteemed scholars and practitioners, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to each one of you. I thank the South Asian Institute for Advanced Research and Development for convening this national symposium. In a policy environment often driven by urgency, SAIARD has chosen deliberation, and that choice matters. Because financial systems, once built, do not disappear with governments or technologies. These shape societies for generations. India's constitution is not merely a legal document. It is, at its heart, an economic vision. It speaks of equity, of dignity of labor, of decentralized opportunity, and of the obligations of the state to reduce structural inequality. So when we speak about the FinTech today, we must ask a constitutional question before a technological one. Does this system expand equality of opportunity, or does it merely accelerate efficiency for those already included? Technology that avoids this question risks becoming extractive rather than transformative. India's success with digital public infrastructure like UPI, interoperable IPIs, identity-linked services, stands out globally because we treated finance as a public good with private innovation. That architecture demands careful stewardship. When we speak of Viksit Bharat, the FinTech and Viksit Bharat, what does it really mean? We often reduce it to GDP or large infrastructure projects. But development today is equally about systems that allow people to participate in the economy with dignity and predictability. FinTech plays that role. It is not merely a sector of producing apps or valuation. It is economic infrastructure like roads or power grids. It determines who can transact, who can save securely, who can access credit, who is visible to the formal economy. If the financial transaction infrastructure is weak or exclusionary, growth becomes uneven and fragile. A developed India must ensure that access to finance is not determined by geography, informality, or social background. So why the Northeast is central, not periphery? Northeast is often spoken about as a frontier or a beneficiary region. That framing is outdated. In reality, Northeast is where FinTech's true stress test lies because of low bank density, difficult terrain, high dependence on informal and cash-based systems, strong community-based trust structures. If digital finance can work reliably here, across villages, hills, and informal livelihoods, it can work anywhere. FinTech has the power to convert the physical remoteness to economic access. But if systems are designed with sensitivity to local realities, development should not force people to migrate to cities. Technology should allow prosperity where people already live. FinTech can create transactional histories, portable financial identities, and credit assessment beyond collateral. But it also introduces new risks, algorithmic exclusion, data asymmetry, and platform dependency. As policymakers, we must ensure that formalization does not become surveillance, and inclusion does not come at the cost of autonomy. We also tend to separate skill development from finance. This is a mistake. A skilled worker without access to credit remains constrained. An entrepreneur without digital finance remains local when it could be scalable. There is another dimension we often overlook in FinTech discussion, which earlier speakers also have mentioned, regulatory and compliance system. In my state, Nagaland, where constitutional and social contexts are distinct, technology's role is not about revenue maximization, but about transparency, traceability, and preventing illicit activity. One digital system reduce discretion and improve predictability. These strengthen public trust. This is not merely efficiency, it is constitutional governance in practice. India's regulators, particularly the Reserve Bank of India, have demonstrated something rare globally. They have treated regulation not as an abstraction, but as a design. As we move into AI-driven finance, the question will become sharper. Who is accountable for automated decisions? How do we ensure explainability? How do we prevent systemic bias? Here again, the Constitution offers reasonableness, proportionality, and accountability. Let me conclude with this reflection. The character of a financial system is not revealed in good times, but in moments of stress, job loss, crops failure, health emergencies. Therefore, if FinTech can cushion shocks rather than amplify them, support livelihood rather than extract data, and build trust rather than dependency, it will have fulfilled not just an economic role, but a constitutional promise. From the hills of Nagaland to the financial corridors of this country, the goal must remain the same: a financial system that serves the republic, not merely the market. I commend SAIARD for anchoring this dialogue in seriousness and depth. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now request our guest, Dr. Ramprasad Ghimire, Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies, Government of Nepal, to present his address. He will be joining us through online. I'd like to request our technical team to connect him, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. With warm greetings from Kathmandu and we respect to
Thank you so much, sir. I would now request Mr. Avinash Shukla, General Manager, DIT Projects and Head, Digital Banking, UCO Bank, to present his address. Over to you, sir.
Namaskar and very good morning to all the distinguished dignitaries present on the stage and all the delegates from FinTech, from bank, from industry, and from other areas. I am honored to be here speaking at this National Symposium on FinTech 2026. And as the theme is FinTech for Viksit Bharat, digital transformation for financial inclusivity, perfectly captures the opportunity for us as a bank. A few years ago, if we see what was the digitalization, so it meant like swiping a card in the metro mall or sending mail, sending documents through mail. But today, how the things change? It means like QR code at a tea stall, Aadhaar-enabled payments, micro merchant accepting payment through feature phones, working capital renewals digitally sitting at home without visiting the branch. So this kind of onboarding, self-onboarding, so everything has changed and a generational shift is there. And in the context of this symposium, if we see the tracks also, action tracks which have been decided for the full day program, so they are exactly the right levers for this kind of digital transformation. The tracks are like digital payment infrastructure. First, infrastructure is there. Then last mile connectivity, which is very important. Then startup and innovation. Then AI. Last but not the least is AI. So I'll speak on one main thing about this, that how to scale this digital transformation into inclusion, and then this inclusion into durable national capability, which is possible in collaboration with all the fintechs only. So first I would like to start with India's fintech story, which is very unique because it is not like in certain area or in one thing we have started. Like at the initial deliberation, Dushyant sir has said, and he has explained also that GEM Trinity was there, then UPI was there. So a lot of things are there. But behind that, what happened? We have created an operating system, or we can say we had created a common infrastructure for fintechs to innovate at scale. At the core, open, interoperable, public digital rails are there, and on top of that, private innovations can flourish. So this journey is not only about the technology, it is about design, it is about trust, it is about collaboration, and it is about national scale, because we want to reach till the last level of our population, till each, I should say, very end of the geographies, very end of the economical section. So everywhere we want to reach, and this will be the actual inclusion. So with these development of these rails and this inclusion and all technology, what was the impacts? So impact is quite visible if we see the Aadhaar, scaling of Aadhaar. Impact is visible when we see this UPI. As already said that around 700 million transactions per day. In December only, in 1 month, we have seen that UPI transaction, around 21.6 billion UPI transaction happened in December only. We have, means we are far ahead in number of transactions. We are topper. So this is not a mere fintech adoption. If you can see, this is actually rewiring of daily economic behavior while we are creating the economic value. Our fintechs have, in case of fintech, if we see, so there also collectively a lot of improvement and lot of scaling is there. Around 100 billion in value they have reached in just last 10 years. If we see in 2021, around 2,000 plus fintechs were registered, fintechs were there. And if we see today, in 24, it is scaled up to around 10,000, and today 16,000 plus fintechs are there. So there is a very phenomenal development in fintech space, and there is a contribution of fintech in the Viksit Bharat, because we are today talking about the Viksit Bharat. So what we see that a developed India or a Viksit Bharat depends on what? It depends upon secure, inclusive, technology-enabled financial ecosystem. But we have to address the gaps also. What are the gaps? Gaps are digital literacy, last mile access, cyber security, institutional capacities. Lot of things are there. So the question is now not that whether we can digitize, that we have already done. The question is, can we industrialize the trust at population scale so that it becomes their behavior, not an event. So we can see in just 3-4 aspects, we can see how India is changing and what are the monumental shifts which are defining this future of fintechs here. So first, as I said, that payments are becoming habit, not event. It's a reflex now. Scan QR or put your thumb and then done, transaction happened. The next shift which is underway, so payment we have already seen. The next shift which is underway is these payment rails are now becoming the credit rails. And that too in very responsible way. UPI, credit line on UPI is on the way, embedded finance we are talking about, and a lot of that pre-approved loans and pre-approved features are there, and fintechs, various fintechs and payment aggregators are providing various facilities. But one thing which is very important to tell here is this, that the rule which is non-negotiable for this finance and for the use of technology in credit or embedded finance is that there should be very simplicity. The user interface and the experience should be very simple. Things should be very transparent. Pricing should be very transparent. Dispute resolution should be very fast. If these things will not be taken care of, then this can create a mistrust. So this is very important that we should scale and we should go ahead with these things also with responsibility. Second shift is there, which is we are moving from paper to data. Few years ago, underwriting was, what was underwriting? That was document, photocopies, visits, signature, follow-ups. But today, what is underwriting? It is shifting from document to cash flows, to transaction behavior, and a lot of verifiable trails. We are not only dependent on CIBIL. Actually, if we see time 2 years, 3 years before, so CIBIL was the main thing. CIBIL or bureau data was main thing. But now we are shifting to these verifiable trails. This matters. Why? Because India is not a salaried economy. It's a self-employed economy. Many are very much credit-worthy. But what is happening? They are not document-rich. So here speed is not the point. Healthy credit is the point. Guardrails and discipline needed to keep innovation survivable. So this we have to take care. Then the third thing which have already been said is fraud. Frauds are becoming very faster. So our defense should be very real time. So we have to, fintechs have to think about this, that whatever fraud risk management softwares or things they are doing, they should aim that real-time protection, real-time detection. And last but not the least is use of AI. As AI is emerging, it will reshape the decision making, it is reshaping the decision making, and it is reshaping the customer experience. But what is more important is that when we come to payments and finance, black boxes will not work. So we have to work. This is a request to all my that fintech partners. We have to work on explainability, on fairness, on human accountability also, because human in the loop is a very important factor while we do anything with related to AI. So that is to be taken care of. Now, I come to, as I am here representing UCO Bank also, so I would like to tell you something about our journey, UCO Bank's journey in digital space, because it's a 84-year-old institution with trust rooted in its history. Our logo is honors your trust, and we have been established in 1943, 6 January 1943. So in January, our foundation day was also, we had celebrated. So few years back, 2 years, 3 years back, there was a question. If we have to thrive and we have to stay relevant, what must change now? And obviously the answer is, what is the theme of this symposium? That is digital transformation, total digital transformation along with digital adoption. It is not like we transform. We have to transform and we have to take care of the adoption also. And that is now embedded in our vision also, that is to be a technology-led, customer-first, data-driven public sector bank and banker of choice for emerging Bharat. In last 2 years, we have digitized around 30 plus straight-through process end-to-end digital journeys across retail, MSME, agriculture, and as well as in liability side also for deposit products. And if we think that where we'll stand on our 100th anniversary, so we have very clear vision about that also, that routine transactions, we have to make those transactions digital by default. That digital should be the first choice for all our customers. We are planning for assisted nano branches, including AR, VR-led support for all complex needs, Gen AI to be embedded across services, operations, risk, and governance with all responsibility and accountability. And UCO as a technology platform, enabling secure API platform, API gateway, and responsible innovation and scale in collaboration with fintechs and other big partners. So this is not the future we can build alone. This I have already told that we invite all this ecosystem, FinTech ecosystem, to be a part of this journey to create, co-build, and co-own the outcomes with us. So ladies and gentlemen, let's envision the road ahead that by 2030, we likely see an India where cash is no longer a king, and digital payments, along with the emerging thing, one more emerging thing, which is central bank digital currencies, CBDC. These two things, digital payments and CBDC, will be ubiquitous in every village and town. Every Indian with a mobile phone will be effectively having a bank in their hand. I congratulate SAIARD for creating this kind of forum for dialogues and action, and I am confident that the discussions today will not remain confined to this hall, but will translate into meaningful impact on the ground. To all the policymakers, fellow bankers, FinTech innovators, and academics here, let us continue to collaborate in this journey. Let's carry the spirit forward that propels our nation towards a more prosperous and Viksit Bharat and Viksit future. Dhanyavad and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. We would now go for the address from our chief guest, but before going for that, we have a very special announcement to do. That is, we are pleased to share that as part of the SAIARD National Symposium on FinTech 2026, SAIARD has recently formalized 3 strategic collaboration in the FinTech and digital payments ecosystem. The first one is between the South Asian Institute for Advanced Research and Development and the National Payments Corporation of India. This collaboration represents a shared commitment towards innovation, interoperability, and strengthening digital payment infrastructure. So I would now request Mr. Chaitanya Bal and Mr. Debadorshi Roy to kindly come up on stage to acknowledge this partnership and on behalf of NPCI. And I'd like to request our team to bring the files. Thank you so much. The second one is between SAIARD and UCO Bank, reflecting a strong partnership in advancing inclusive finance, capacity building, and institutional cooperation. I invite Mr. Avinash Shukla and Mr. Amit Srivastava to kindly join us on stage for the acknowledgement. A big round of applause, everyone. It is between SAIARD and the Kolkata Management Association, marking a strategic collaboration aimed at strengthening leadership development, capacity building, knowledge exchange, and institutional cooperation. I invite Mr. Indranil Banerjee and Mr. Anirban Bhattacharjee to kindly join us on the stage for acknowledgement. Let's move on to our address session. I would now request our chief guest, Mr. Dushant Nariala, IAS Additional Chief Secretary, Department of North Bengal Development, Government of West Bengal, to kindly present his address. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Respected guests on dais, Shri Shubhanjan Das, Mr. Rajendra Sharma, Mr. Mautaushi Long Kumar, Mr. Avinash Shukla, and Dr. Rai Chaudhary. The audience today, the bankers, people from FinTech industry, press, media, and other guests. I'm very grateful to SAIARD and especially Dr. Roy Chaudhary for giving me an opportunity to be here today. Because when he first said that there's this workshop on the symposium, National Symposium on FinTech, so my association, my understanding of FinTech was that maybe it's the name of a company. Later I realized it's financial technology. So I said, I'm very far away from finance, away in the hills, North Bengal, GT and all. So I'm not in the thick of things. But yes, it's all around us, whether the way it's changing things, it's changing lives. And the speakers before me, they've addressed all the technical parts, made me understand that it's all around us. And it's a great effort for this National Symposium on FinTech and for developing a Viksit Bharat. Technology has changed things very fast, and whenever it does so, it creates ripples, and these ripples take time to settle. As Shubhanjan very rightly said, the words of caution and security go with it. But whenever change comes that fast, if we look historically, we find that the transformation to computerization also had some dissettling and controversial aspects, that there was resistance. But even if we go further, as a few months ago I was reading about the introduction of printed technology in this area, when the handwritten records were being transformed to printed registers. There was a lot of resistance then also. When we talk of the mobile disruption today, we have to remember that when TVs were introduced, they were as disruptive. And before that, people don't talk of the radio technology. If you read at literature of those times, there's often talk that how people are spending more time on the radio. Then we got the TV and then the mobile. So technology has always been sort of disruptive, but at the same time it has to be harmonious. The legality comes in, the social aspects come in, the human aspects come in, the grievances force changes. But one is to realize that the human thought is like a pendulum. It swings from one side to another. Then it comes to a balance. I'm from the legal side, and there's this one theory which says that the human mind is so unsettling that initially, while murder was punished, attempt to murder was not punished. So then they realized it's almost as good as murder, only he failed. So they started punishing it. It ended up that the person who was intended to be killed didn't die, but the person who had made the attempt was killed. So that is how, and then they brought down the balance that it is illogical to assassinate a person who has not been successful, or the attempt. That is how the normalcy comes in. I want to indicate that the pendulum go from one extreme to another and then strike a balance. And this note of caution about security sensitivity, I'll say that this technology combined with internet, the earlier technologies that came, didn't have such fast pace and such far-reaching impact. These changes are now coming in what we call a global village. Everyone is connected, so a small wrong click, an additional zero goes a long way in creating a grievance. So they need to be addressed. And many times, the other day I had gone to meet a guest, a friend of mine. So what had happened that in the process of transferring the money, two people of the same name, the money was transferred to the wrong person. And then the person said that it has almost taken 40 calls to get to know how to address the issues. So these are some of the things that are coming up, and that is where the issue of inclusiveness and the human connect goes. On the positive side, I was with some elderly gentleman yesterday. So he had written some letter regarding resolution of some problem which got miscommunicated and the other issue got resolved. So I was sitting with him, he said, 3 mahina ho gaya. So I said, you just give me your letter because you communicated it verbally, some miscommunication was there. He gave me his letter, I WhatsApped it. Then he said, oh, that's why. The other day I was sitting with someone, he WhatsApped and the work got done the third day. So the positive side of technology, the negative side, the balance, each are around us. We are seeing it change things very fast. But what I'd like to add that taking the example from here today, while we are talking of a technology of the future, in the function today, SAIARD gave us as mementos Jamini Roy's paintings, which is art, and the traditional lighting of the lamp, which is thousands of centuries old tradition. So the art and the tradition go together with the modern technology. This we have to remember. And the clever play of nature and language. You cannot be smart on missing out on art because art itself is contained in the word smart. So this balance has to be maintained even if those who are dealing with it understand or not. The speed is very fast. The reach has, I think, multiplied many times. And in India, when we deal with anything, we have additional problem because we have the heavy load of extra numbers, huge numbers. Anything you do at the national level will impact millions of people, much more than population of many countries or continents put together. That's why we have to be more cautious, and the cautions indicated by Mr. Avinash Shukla when he mentioned that it is also about design, trust and collaboration, not only about technology. That is very well said. And from our friend from Nagaland, when he said that the technology has to cushion shocks and the goal of exclusiveness has to be covered when all people have to be brought in together. So that India moves together, all the people get this benefit. Now coming to the human connect, it becomes very difficult because the human element, when you deal with so many people, in any technology, the problems of the man, the big model of human population also comes in, which means the good and the bad. That's why the negative side of the cyber crime, all that comes in. So one has to be very cautious. But I think while technology has moved very fast, it is also time to think, settle. While the pace cannot be stopped, one has to always ask the other question. The other question is, as was being mentioned, that there was, when we used to go to bank, have a struggle about getting the money. So it was not only about the struggle in getting the money. It was about the struggle in getting our own money. So that part of sensitization has not to be forgotten. So this hidden aspect in the long story about the ownership and the responsibility of each technology creator and each platform has to be taken care of. Because our technology and our systems will be only as good as our probe or investigation. As there is this one couplet, I think it's by Munir Niazi, where he says, अपने अमल का हिसाब क्या देते? Amal means the capacity. How can I describe my capacity? अपने अमल का हिसाब क्या देते? सवाल सब गलत थे, जवाब क्या देते? So many a time the questions being asked might not be proper they might not fit all stratas of society. So that has to be very well taken care of while designing a software. Technology is a great changer. And as Bill Gates said, never before in history has innovation offered promise of so much to so many in so short a time. So the pace, when we are very fast and we have extreme power, we remember that the edge, the sharpness is also affecting many people. So on this account, it has to be remembered that the human, the considerate aspect has to be brought in. As one of the writers, who is a philosopher and social critic, mentioned, people who smile, while people who used to smile when they are alone used to be called insane, until we invented smartphones and social media. So now you find a lot of people sitting and smiling on their own, but while it's connecting to people, the funny part is, we are globally connected but locally disconnected. We are not talking to the person next door. So this balance will come back like a pendulum, whether we try it or not. The only problem is, it may take years or centuries. The disruption can be fast, the ripples created can be fast. But the balancing effect nature, when it brings, will bring it its own pace, because so many players are involved. On this front, I'll say that the human and this, whenever who is developing the technology, the platform inventors and those working on it should keep in mind that while we can bring artificial intelligence, so after a long research, humans understood that rather than IQ, there is something called EQ also, emotional quotient also, that has to be taken care of. Some of the very basic things we discover, they are minor changes, but they have a long impact. So जो भी system आप बनाइए, अच्छा बनाते हैं, अच्छा बनाइए, but ये याद रखिए, there's this line from मासूम, कि बहुत खूबसूरत है हर एक बात, लेकिन अगर दिल भी होता तो क्या बात होती। तो दिल आप हर चीज में डाल नहीं सकते, बट आप जिन लोगों को बिठाते हैं, उनको ट्रेन करते हैं, तो those people can, if they can be sensitive, your systems would work wonders. Because as I said, that one wrong click, उसको undo करने का भी तरीका कुछ होना चाहिए उसमें. And please remember that our life is one step forward, two steps backward. Because you cannot shoot an arrow without pulling it backwards. So one has to look back. In the race to be ahead of others, let us not be so fast as to forget the racetrack or the people why we are running the race. Because it often becomes in systems that the process should not become an end in itself. It's a means to an end. I know of incidents where I was earlier in disaster management, so the message we used to get was limited to, SMS message was limited to 60 characters. So they used to give info on an alert without giving the message. So I said, why don't you convey the message? Because disaster is about golden hour. You have to save lives. If you say, give a message, and one is supposed to open the email and see, then the message is lost. Because all places might not, email might not open while SMS may come. It took us around 6 months to convince them that emergency means not telling someone, you have an alert, open your email and see what it is. So the process should not become an end in itself, because that would take away the edge of the speed and the purpose of why it is being done. And while there's a lot of information, there's also overreach at times, that people are often as we say, telemarketing and all is coming in. So while at one time the speed has been gained, but let us remember all systems are so connected. There's the legality of the system, the social aspect of the system, apart from the financial and the economic aspects. They have to move together. So in this, while we get more knowledge and we get more numbers, it will not always come with more goodwill and good control. Because as Kumar Barabanki once said, "Had se jo bade jo ilm, to zahel hai dosto." Ilm means the learning and the information and knowledge. Zahel means idiotic. सब कुछ जो जानते हैं वो कुछ नहीं जानते. So no one knows the entire process. While we are changing one aspect of a unified system, there might be pulls and pressures on other aspects. That is the social aspect, the human aspect, the emotional aspect. It is changing very fast. So that also needs to be taken care of. And people, so that while you can go to an ATM, you can, आप ATM से मुलाकात कर सकते, बात नहीं कर सकते. So if there is a problem with आपका कार्ड वहाँ अड़ गया, तो so technology should become a bridge, but at times it acts as a barrier. If the person, say, is not well read, as we talk about financial literacy, yes, awareness is good for the younger lot, but at the same time, on the financial side, so much change is there कि वो literacy रहा नहीं, वो पूरा syllabus हो गया है. आपको इतना कुछ जानना है, given these so many technologies, so many changes, कि पढ़ते ही रहना है. And by the time you read one, it changes. I remember I got one message कि आपके उसमें कुछ लोगों का ACR है, टाइम एक्सटेंड कर दिया गया है. तो मैं बोला चलो अच्छा है, आई वेंट कि आप इसको तो देगा, तो उसमें आया कि आपका OTP पर बदल दिया गया है. तो जो लॉक किया था, तो ऐसे यार जब एक्सटेंड किया, तो what was saved, you can't use it, you go again, create another. So all these systems, while they are saving time, yes, they are for security, I understand, but slowly these things will have to be ironed out and be more logically and not always what we call the push driven. एक होता है demand driven होता है, और एक होता है कि that may be the company agenda driven. That thing has to be taken care of, so that overall we have a beautiful system. Because as Ghulam Dastgir Sharar, a Urdu poet, said, falsafe ilm mein hi hote, there is philosophy in knowledge, but tajurbe zindagi mein hote hain. So whatever you do, it's the technology you use impresses no one. The experience you create with it is everything. It's creating a fast experience, it's creating an easy experience, it's creating extra time. But overall it should leave people happy, and all people happy. There are some people who are, say, born many decades ago. They should also be on board. And it's good thing that many of the older people are now more mobile savvy. The other day I was at a house of a relative. He said that his wife was suffering from, was taking a lot of medicine, old lady suffering from depression, but the mobile is keeping her occupied. So the depression, that medicine और वो जो दिक्कत है depression का जो behavior वाला, वो नहीं हो रहा है. So the good and bad side of technology, all aspects of technology needs to be looked at, so that there are holistic systems. The security and the caution aspects and the inclusiveness and the emotion are at the key of any systems. May these be developed soon, so that the speed at which everything is changing is a healthy, proper speed, and may all these systems may achieve balance soon. This is my wish, and I thank SAIARD again for organizing this wonderful symposium and inviting me here today. It's great interacting with all of you. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. We would go for our official launches, but before that, may I kindly request all our dignitaries to step down from the stage and to take their seats. But firstly, I would like to request all the dignitaries to come up in front and let's have one more time a capture. Everyone please join. At first, we will now present an official video from the National Payments Corporation of India, Government of India, highlighting the credit line on UPI initiative, an important step towards strengthening digital payments and expanding access to formal credit.
Has seen credit volumes grow from 4.26 lakh crore rupees in 2014 to over 10 lakh crore in 2024. And now, with KCC on UPI, farmers can access and use that credit digitally for seeds, fertilizers and agri inputs, instantly, securely and without paperwork. Credit on UPI, bringing simplicity, speed and empowerment to every corner of India. Credit on UPI, one simple linkage, endless possibilities.
The official launch of SAIARD's groundbreaking digital initiatives developed by Pentile Global Tech, the IT Secretariat of the SAIARD Group. At this time, it gives me immense pleasure to hand over the microphone to Mr. Suryadipta Bhattacharya, Executive Director, and Mr. Shormikha, Chief Technology Officer, Pentile. They will take us through a live demonstration of our two revolutionary portals, Sanyog, connecting the nations, and One Health, your healthcare partner.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to all the esteemed delegates and distinguished participants and respected guests presented here today. I am Suryadipta Bhattacharya, Executive Director of Pentile Global Tech, the IT and Technology wing of SAIARD Group. It is a privilege to be a part of this FinTech platform where innovation, inclusion and impact came together. We all know these opportunities exist everywhere today. Government schemes, CSR initiatives, outreach programs, but the problem isn't availability, it's fragmentation. Information is scattered, platforms don't talk to each other, and stakeholders don't often work in silos. Now, imagine all of this came together in one place, a single digital ecosystem where people can access multiple schemes easily, where corporates and NGOs can collaborate seamlessly on CSRs, and where organizations and startups can reach the right audience through the smart data-driven outreach platform. That's exactly what we have built as Sanyog, the platform where FinTech meets inclusions and technology builds trust. A collaboration drives real social and economic impact. Instead of explaining more, I think it's best if you see it by yourself. Let's take a look at the Sanyog journey. Please, Anik.
Every day, people search for opportunities meant for them. Government schemes, bank benefits, corporate programs, scattered across platforms, policies, and processes. Why should accessing opportunity feel this complex? What if there was one place where everything came together? Introducing Sanyog, a unified digital platform connecting people with opportunities. Sanyog enables unified discovery of schemes, guides users through eligibility, simplifies access, all in one place. This platform simplifies discovery, enables access, and creates a connected ecosystem of trust. Built for scale, security, and transparency, Sanyog aligns with the future of FinTech-driven governance. One platform, endless possibilities. Sanyog, where access meets opportunity. An initiative by SAIARD developed by Pentile Global Tech.
So, yeah, we have seen how Sanyog brings the systems and stakeholders together. But technology doesn't stop at finance or the platforms. It also plays a wonderful role in how we think about health. To talk about that, I'd like to hand over to Sharmi Khan, who will walk us through our next innovation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suryadipta. I am Sharmi Khan, Chief Technology Officer at Pentel Global Tech, and I am glad to continue this conversation from a slightly different lens. While we often talk about data platforms and scale fragmentation has its highest cost in health and well-being, where disconnected systems, siloed data, and delayed action impact real lives. So the question is simple. What happens when technology truly connects data, intelligence, and action in real time? Imagine a secure cloud-native digital framework where health data, predictive insights, and service delivery work together to enable early intervention and better outcomes. This thinking has shaped One Health, a technology-led ecosystem connecting human, community, and environmental health into one integrated approach. To see how this comes to life.
In a fast-moving world, accessing healthcare is still complicated, fragmented. In rural India, distance and limited infrastructure make basic healthcare difficult to access when it matters most. Medical records, consultations, reports, wellness tracking, all spread across different platforms. What if all of it came together in one secure place? Introducing One Health, a unified digital health platform designed for today's connected world. From digital health records and expert consultations to smart healthcare, seamless health services, and enterprise-grade data security, everything your health needs in one app. Built on secure FinTech infrastructure, compliant, encrypted, and designed for trust. Because health deserves the same reliability as finance. Healthcare should not depend on geography. It should travel seamlessly from villages to cities, and from India to the world. From accessing digital records, consulting doctors remotely, tracking health data, and managing reports, all in one place. This is not just an app. This is connected healthcare for everyone. Welcome to One Health. Conceptualized by SAIARD, developed by Pentel Global Tech.
Thank you so much for your time. To know more about our products, please visit our stall Pentel. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Suryadipta and Ms. Sharmi Khan. Now, we proceed with the official launch of RS Drone, a dedicated unit of the SAIARD group, marking a significant step towards advancing drone-based applications, geospatial intelligence, and technology-driven solutions for research, governance, and sustainable development. I'd request our technical team to show it to the audience.
Analyze and serve the world, delivering faster, safer, and smarter solutions from above. From land surveying and mapping to disaster response, agriculture, infrastructure inspection, and public safety, drones enable precision, efficiency, and real-time intelligence. The South Asian Institute for Advanced Research and Development. We advance research and innovation within a collaborative institutional environment focused on sustainable development. RSIGST, a part of the South Asian Institute of Advanced Research and Development Group, focuses on geospatial science, technology, and skill development aligned with national priorities. We have developed the School of Drone Technology to support the development of Eastern and Northeastern India. Dedicated to drone services, capacity building, manufacturing, and end-to-end solutions. Our initiatives support government, industry, and corporate sectors in addressing all drone-related requirements. We welcome all stakeholders to connect with us and build the future together. Drones are not just technology, they are tools for progress. At South Asian Institute for Advanced Research and Development Group and RSIGST, we invite you to collaborate and drive innovation for a sustainable tomorrow.
Thank you so much. At this moment, I take immense pleasure in extending our heartfelt gratitude to all our distinguished dignitaries, speakers, partners, and delegates for gracing this inaugural session with their presence and support. Your encouragement and participation have made this event truly meaningful and memorable. We are particularly grateful to our partners and collaborators for their invaluable contributions. To all the partners who have presented exhibition stalls here, thank you very much. And to the organizing team whose dedication has ensured the smooth conduct of this program. With your continued engagement and enthusiasm, we now look forward to the action track sessions where insightful discussions and collaborative efforts will shape the way forward. I kindly request all participants to remain seated as we move into our sessions. Once again, thank you so much. So, for our first session, which is Digital Payments Infrastructure, a Resilient, Inclusive and Future-Ready Bharat Anchor Transition, I would like to request Mr. Chaitanya Bal, in charge and head, State Government Relations, National Payments Corporation of India, Government of India, to come up on stage and moderate this session. On panel, we have Mr. Debashish Gangopadhyay, Chairman, Assam Gramin Bank, Assam. I'd like to request you to come up on stage. We have Mr. Sanjay Kumar Das, WBCS, Additional Secretary, Department of Science and Technology and Biotechnology, and State Information Security Officer, Government of West Bengal. I'd like to request Mr. Sanjay Kumar Das to come up on stage and take his seat. And we have Mr. Amitabh Datta, Regional Head, Transaction Banking, Yes Bank. We have Professor Surojit Chakraborty, Assistant Professor, IIS WBM, University of Calcutta, on panel. I'd like to request him to come up on stage.